This is a test. This is only a test. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Oh, apparently it's working. I seem to be broadcasting. Brilliant. This is just a test of the OBS Streamlabs integration with Restream IO. Testing 1 2 3. There it is. I got audio coming out the other side, and it sounds good. Okay, I'll explain. I guess why not? We'll just dive right into a show. We'll do it. I don't have anything plugged in. I need to run a cable over there. We'll do it. We'll do it in real time. Why not? Fuck it. Thank you for your patience as we tinker and experiment galore. Here's what's going on. Let me explain to you what's going on. So there's a service called Restream IO, which is awesome because it beautifully, simply, and elegantly does what it says. It restreams your stream. Now, I had discovered that first. Then I went, cool, does it have a studio? And I didn't understand their studio interface. And then someone was like, no, you need to get an OBS and then patch that in through to that. And then have IO catch the OBS feed and rebroadcast it to all the platforms. And I was like, okay. And then I just started using the Twitch app, the native Twitch app in the iPhone. Not the iPhone, the iPad. And then what happened was that I forgot about everything. And I then got wanting to return to the experimentation with OBS and whatnot. I cleansed the slate, cleaned the slate, and I started over with Twitch Studio, which is cool and all. It's not a horrible app or anything. It's just if I've been plugged into the wrong thing this entire time. No, that one's the right thing. This is extra. And what was I saying? Oh, so Twitch Studio was great in that it did the one thing the other guys couldn't seem to do, which was simply broadcast the not broadcast, actually pull the error file not found, sentences are not being completed. I have too many thoughts in my head. iPad 6th Gen, enable for musical enabling. Cool. The other one's still searching for because it's not there. How do I make it go away? There you go. Go away. I should now be able to play for you. Boom! A little bit of the DJ Zed. Soon to be graphically depicted with a funny cartoon. So brace yourselves for that. So there's the regular OBS, which is fine. It's a fine piece of software. It does what it wants. It does what it's sets out to do. And then there's Streamlabs version, which I just like better. It's a slightly cleaner interface. Let me tone that music down. It's probably way too loud, huh? Come here, music. We're gonna tone you down to about there. There we go. I think that's probably a better mix. And when I say the Twitch native app, there's multiple Twitch apps, right? There's you can get on any web browser and go to the website on any device. You can go to twitch.tv/Mr. or any other person's channel, and you can watch and view. And so that's not what I'm talking about. There's the download it from the App Store Twitch app, which is basically a packet. It's a browser to look at Twitch for, but it does the thing that it does the one thing, and it did it well in terms of the preview on the desktop, but when it came to actually broadcasting it, there was no sound. No. There was it wasn't. It was chunky, and the whole stream had terrible audio. That's what it was. So the Twitch Studio is the one that was built by Twitch. Oh, I want to use this other one because it's longer, and I don't have that issue of getting snagged. Where'd it go? Is this the wrong kind? This is probably the wrong kind. This is the last gen. I don't have a longer one for the next gen. I thought I had two of them sitting right there. Yes, this one's slightly longer, I do believe. Isn't it? Or are they the exact same length? I'm going to laugh my ass off if they're the exact same length. Welcome to the joys of doing a Twitch stream. Oh god, the one I was originally holding is like ever. No. This one's ever so slightly longer. Not very much though. Not enough to make it super worthwhile moving it every time from the plug. Because one cable is Fire, whatever, the little micro Apple USB that isn't USB, and the other is real USB to Apple bits, and there we go. That's gonna help. Not wrapping it around the other thing. So I'm trying to explain that I was having woes with OBSs in general, and it seemed like I couldn't get everything to work in one place at once. And I still haven't figured out about the audio. I don't think that I know you can hear this music because I can see the audio input capture. It's showing me levels, and that registers in my mind, and I know I just adjusted it, right? It all makes sense. Now, speaking of which, we should probably connect to twitch.tv Mr. Zeppo already, because we're live. 3, 2, 1, intro time. Hoorah! So, okay. So there's multiple things. There's the TV Studio software, the OBS. And there were 3 candidates for hopefully solving the problem. OBS, Streamlabs desktop OBS, and a beta tested. I need to see if there's an update and check it out again and play with it, see if it's gotten any better. Built by Twitch, application called Twitch Studio Desktop. All of this is for iMac. And okay, so what I figured out is I love Twitch Studio, and it recognizes the iPad as a video source with audio and pulls the video audio together, and therefore I could do the thing, except that the receiving end on the website, it was terrible stream quality. And it was coming from my machine. It was my machine integrating all the inputs. So the solution I would have needed to enact there, if I wanted to use that software, would have been to buy another device. Like I would have had to, and I don't have any money, as you know, as you may have noticed. Oh, look at that. The bots are already in, chatting away, telling me to buy followers. I don't know how that works. I don't know if that's just like buying advertising. I'm down to buy advertising, but I was gonna do that through my podcast, which I don't know if I've properly explained really fully yet. It's all sort of a piece, but it's also different things, right? So it's all disparate. So I couldn't buy a new computer. So I was like, okay, I guess I can't use Twitch's own desktop studio, even though it does the thing that the first OBS couldn't do, and that I still think Streamlabs desktop doesn't do correctly. Although I'm hoping maybe perhaps there's been an update and it does now. I've been lazy and I have not written a review. And I'm already starting the show even though the counter's going. So I'm just rambling. The other thing that was going on, so that was an issue with the iMac and the iPad and trying to get that to work together in a way that rendered a good stream. Wasn't happening. Streamlabs desktop was both intuitive, visually intuitive, easy to use, light on the device, and rendered a good stream. And whilst trying it out, I found out about Stream Elements, which is where I get the graphics from, right? And I'm over explaining this because no one explains this. And so I'm being the the noob explain it to other noobs kind of guide to Twitch solving. Twitch stream problem solving. So Stream Elements is a place where you can get for free several, and then of course for a subscription all the rest, all the other content. Various prefabricated, pre-set up things where you just got to fill in the bits. Like I just had to type Mr. Zeppo 11 times to get across the top, right? And or solo.to/Mr. Zeppo, which isn't my YouTube address, but it's easier to get to my YouTube. I don't have Mr. Zeppo on YouTube. Some other dude does, and it's a whole headache. But and he's got every right to use it. He doesn't even like he doesn't. I don't own the trademark. I wish I did. He doesn't own the trademark either. And I hope no one steals the trademark because I don't have any money to buy the trademark. I gotta get the money to buy the trademark so that I can own my own trademark. That's neither here nor there. So I figured this out and then found out, oh boo, I can use the iPad visually, but there's no sound effects. So I can use it for discussing the umbrella opening of the day. And that was my theory. I was like, oh, I'll get on at the top of the day and I'll do, it's supposed to say starting, or it's supposed to change after 0, but I guess that's not. The text is, oh, I still have the lens cap on. Greetings and salutations, partners. No, fret not, I did not cut all my hair off. It's in a ponytail. Thank you for tuning in. It's cold. Curiously, I'm in the exact same shirt I was in the last time. I have not been wearing this exact same shirt the entire time. I swear. But I am now, it's cold and I'm bundled up in 2 robes. I have my light, fluffy, but very heat retentive. It just doesn't like water. It's very light and fluffy. And then I've got my standard heavy duty brown one because it's winter and it's actually raining today for the first time ever in ages. It's been a bit of a drought here in Southern California, if you haven't noticed. And like bad, like really bad. Like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to get really nervous about it for the first time in my life, and I've lived here my whole life, kind of bad. So there's that. The winning thing was, okay, so I set up all these scenes, as you are familiar, for this desktop, Streamlabs desktop, and it's and it was all working, and I was like, but I don't think it recognizes Restream.io. And I'd set up Restream.io to be Facebook, YouTube, and it's free, right? And I'm telling you because like if you don't know about these things, you want to find out. I'm here to share. I did all the research. Now you get to enjoy. And for the help, you help me out by hitting that subscribe button and heading over to the donation thing if you can afford. If you are in a position to donate, donations are very welcome. So restream.io is a free and of course also subscription available service that provides, and I've rushed myself into doing this show today. It provides the free version. I don't have it in front of me. Let me look. Let me also turn on a light. Let me that too bright? Oh, that's way too damn bright. How did I get it to that level? Tone that down. Tone it down. Tone it down. There we go. A little bit. Oh, I didn't mean to change the actual color level. I meant to. Do I match my walls now? I think it was this one originally. Boom. Okay. So let's sit. It'll be easier. Oh, you can stare at the top of my forehead. Greetings and welcome to my lounge. This is my futon. No, this is not where I sleep. This is where I relax after meditating. This would kill me if I slept on it on a regular basis. What was I doing? Oh, right. Restream.io. So all the different things. Stream Elements, super awesome. I give them a thumbs up. I recommend them. Check them out. You may recall they handle the chatbots timers. There's also chatbot timers in Streamlabs desktop thing, and they work just as well. I just discovered these ones first and did them first. So there you go. Stream Elements also has all the overlays. So they're super cool and fun to use, and I'll be playing with changing up the overlays a little bit more. Like, I've just found some new ones that I like, even though they're not purpley enough. I just want everything to be purple because those are my colors, and I don't know how to do that. I mean, I'm sure there's a way. Okay, so Restream.io has it so that I can create, and you can see there's probably a little Restream logo bit in the corner. Yes, I see it over here in the preview in Restream.io. But in the free account, and this is for free, you can restream from OBS or using Restream.io's own studio if it works for you. It didn't work for me in first impression. And here's the part that's cool. Not only on Twitch, which hopefully it's looking and sounding good. I'm going to check in a hot second to make sure. But also, and these are just the ones that I went to the trouble of setting up. And I think this is the max number in the free account. There's also the subscription accounts, and you can get more, and you can set up a bunch of different things. But Nemo TV, YouTube, Twitter, hi Twitter world, and Facebook. What's up, Facebook? You're tuning into my very impromptu, very real, very raw, very radically unscripted live stream show. Welcome to it. This is basically what I do for my podcast, except now I have to fucking fret about what I look like on the camera and or freak out and or not give a shit. So welcome to the show. For those of you who are not familiar, who've never tuned into any of my other things before, let me give you a brief reintroduction of myself. Hello, allow myself to introduce myself again. I am the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo, the brainchild, the literary, licensed, wholly owned and operated caricature of my real life self, as you might imagine me cosplaying it in my media products for the purposes of creating content that attracts an audience to the multiple platforms through which I like to create stuff. So this is a win because one of the sad things about the whole history of this experiment is that I didn't figure out how to get, like, if you just use Twitch, and I'm not bagging on any of these services, I love them all. These are all honest, real, genuine, authentic endorsements of these products. But if you just use Twitch directly, then you're only broadcasting on Twitch. And Twitch, even if you're a pro level, your videos disappear after X amount of time. So I always wanted an archive on YouTube. And I always wanted the ability to easily broadcast to Facebook and the Twitter sphere, now that Twitter does live broadcasting too. And this other platform for Nemo. What's up, Nemo TV? I've got to go to the actual website and log in and check it out again and see what's up and check out how my profile's looking. But now I finally figured it out, so huzzah! That's one of the things that's been discouraging me from doing the stream more often. The other is that I don't have a really nice second, like, separate webcam where I can reposition and re-angle it, because I would definitely plug it in and then put it down somewhere lower, and then I could come over here and, like, show you stuff over here. But that's aspirational for future iterations. I see there's some peeps watching on Facebook. Hello, Facebook world. Welcome to the reboot, the relaunch of the Incorrigible Mr. Zethelbo's almost daily login live stream variety gaming chat show about media and stuff, which is sort of like the bastard child, the neglected bastard child of the Almost Daily Zencast, which is a world-renowned, I can't quite say world-famous, but it is admired around the world in over 20 countries. Just trying to broaden the horizons and expand out, and totally not prepared. I was just tinkering and trying to make sure that the setup was right and not planning to actually get launch things. Like, my hair's a mess. It's a rat's nest. I'm not even gonna deal with this. So there you go. The raw, the real, the radically unscripted nature of it has sometimes been called into question by folks on social media. I assure you, it's just me on my Mac device, on my 2 Mac devices, plural, trying to share my wild and wacky thoughts with the world, and doubling down, dare I say quadrupling down on it now that the world's falling apart, and certain sets of circumstances in my life have radically changed. To that end, I'd like to share with you the vision I have of expanding my reach vis-a-vis diversifying some of the endeavors that we're participating in. For those of you who have been following along for a while, you know that I often tease and talk about. Here we go. I was looking at the restream.io browser page, but I don't really need to. That should work even though I've closed it, I believe. I should hope. We're going to check in a hot second. What did I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. So, I was doing updates and I didn't set it up. There's a graphic. Like, I don't have a team of people that made that graphic. I made that graphic. You know what I'm saying? All the graphics, all the bits. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but there's the, the usual rolling. I didn't make that graphic. That I stole from the video game, but so no infringement is intended. It's meant to represent and promote the video game on the twitchy things. So tragically, I don't believe that if I were to fire up a game right now, it would work correctly. We're not going to get into that, but what I want to talk about is that there's I wanted to take you to Electric Avenue. How does the rest of that go? Can you feel it? Something, something. I want to take you to Electric Avenue. I don't know. I've actually been down Electric Avenue in London, and it was a trip. It was quite a thing. So I spent a lot of time making all the stuff. What am I looking for? Spiraling out of control. I'm looking for... Oh, Wattpad isn't an app here. That's why I'm confused. I'm looking for the Wattpad app, and it's not an app on the iPad. It's a website I gotta visit on just the plain old regular website-y business. Let's use Safari. Oh yeah, we were looking at feedbacky things for... Check it out, friends. There's the most recent version of solo.to. That's not the most recent version. Refresh that shit. I know I've made updates. We need to look into those too, because I want to make more updates. So we were gonna go to... Oh, right. Wattpad. Oh, I don't think I've got it logged in here. Darn it. Where's the one where I do? When things don't go according to plan. Well, when you didn't even make a plan at all to make an appearance. Let's look at the... This should be up to date because it should be live. Boom. That's what we want to look at. This is where you can find the collection of links. I'm always promoting it. I'm always discussing it. But I wanted to then actually be able to click through on it instead of just showing you a screen grab, right? To show you the cool stuff. I'm going to be replacing and updating it again later today during lunch break. But look at you. Look, there's me. Oh, we're doing an infinite teleportation tunnel of Twitch stream. Okay, we'll stop that. So I'm glad that's working. Hooray. Close it out. How do I close it out? Actually close it out. Boom. Twitch land is awesome. Love all the things. Games, all the gaming. I wish I was playing No Man's Sky, but I need a PC for that. But where was I? What were we talking about? What did I actually want to look up here? Ah, yes. Wattpad. Oh, it's not logged in. Gosh darn it. Well, we'll have to come back to that and do it another time, friends, because I'm not going to show you my credentials. And I think that's a bit of a deterrent. Some people are like, I don't want to start another account. But you can sign in with multiple different sign-in tokens for security. Wattpad is a social media platform that was groundbreaking at the time because it basically is where some big name books were discovered. I think, what's the weirdest one? Oh, which direction was I going on with the music? We started on this. House of Earl. Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey was discovered on Wattpad. So I got to fix that up and log in on all the logins and dust off the shelves and stuff. But it's a... Why am I talking about that and just rambling? It's a world that I'm trying to create. and there's worlds within worlds for reasons obvious that we talk about in other places, up to and including Sprecher.com, the podcast show, separate from this video thing, which we'll be doing a little bit of a crossover. We're doing some cross promotion right now. For 5 years now, I've been addressing my deep thoughts and concerns and stupid questions about the world and what's going on in it and our priorities. And as you can see here, it's described as an experimental freeform talk radio style audio blog podcast entertainment show. So I humbly invite you, dear Sprecher friends, dear Twitch TV friends, to get on over there and check it out and give it some love and support. And that's so the fundraiser is going to help fundraise all of these efforts. And given the latest calamities, not limited to, but most definitely including me suddenly no longer having the kind of work that I am used to having, and I've always been sort of freelance in the industry that I was in before, but everything's just sort of dried up enough, and inconvenient enough, and expensive enough in terms of driving and distance and where I'm at, that I'm trying to refocus and double down on this creative idea, which is a span of projects ranging from stage plays I'd love to come full circle and return to the theater and see produced someday in the not too distant future that need redrafting and updrafting and shaping and sculpting and finalizing, and a book series and video games I'd like to create, which I'm slowly trying to see if I can like cobble together enough skills to look like a competent team leader to try and recruit some independent up and coming developer types that have the remaining set of overlapping skills to join me. But that's all really hard to do on the free take. Like, no one wants to do the hustle for absolutely free. You got to be making some income to be able to throw some money around. Thus, the focus on the podcast and the Twitch streaming. So, and I think that the book series is a natural place to go and sort of root the anchor in, like really explain the world of worlds there. So that's what it's all about, and that's why I come at you with the with sort of self-promotion and reminder and humble invitation to please support the show if you can, and if it's engaged your curiosity. Imagine a world, friends, where a character very much exactly like myself lives. What did I want to show you? What did I want to show you? Oh, imagine a world where a character not, pretty much entirely like myself lives in a dystopian sort of nightmarish world where it feels like a retro futurism of like broken steampunk, broken cyberpunk, trying to warn the world that it's repeating its own mistakes vis-a-vis the creation of an immersive entertainment media complex that engages you on multiple levels, including hyper immersive virtual reality of the kind that we don't have yet, of the science fiction kind. That's the world that all my art and stuff is building and leading towards, and that I hope to. Oh, look, I found the watercolor, the original. I sort of love the final one. Anyway, I'm getting distracted with stuff. That's the world we're trying to cobble together abstractedly. So yeah, I wanted to check in with you this morning and check in with the broader spectrum of potential audience now tuning in to the various channels. I will not be broadcasting to Twitch or to Facebook every time I go on the air. That's just for special occasions. But there will be now, I think, I hope, in theory, a archive on YouTube for a lot of the video chat sessions for the majority of this, like the talking video chat production studio show, as there is for the audio podcast. And I can't remember if I set them to the same YouTube channel or two different YouTube channels, but we'll get that all figured out. I'm going to see if we can't merge YouTube channels. That's a whole long sordid story. But next, we'll be exploring and tinkering and testing to see if I can get the iPad and the audio to work all in one flow on one of these devices, one of these setups in the long term, which may require tragically something I cannot do until either this whole thing starts making me money, or I sell a book idea, or I get a job at a gas station, which is I seriously do need a nice, sturdy, not gonna break down in the next 3 years PC desktop to be like the central engine of grinding out the heavy duty stuff like being a server and whatnot. So many things to think about, so many things to discuss, and some of them I want to save for the podcast because there's good reasons, I think, good ideas for keeping it separate and not overlapping it too much. So be sure to check that out. My last episode on the podcast is a bit of a mind blower, talking about the fractal nature of reality. If you've never spent any time contemplating that, join me for a hot second on that episode in the mental exploration of that basic concept and how it can lead to some deep implications for our real world if you really think about it. And although it's no longer Thanksgiving, I humbly invite anyone and everyone that didn't catch the Thanksgiving Day special episode over on Sprecher or any of the other places you can get the podcast, because you can get the podcast most anywhere that fine podcasts are caught. But the Thanksgiving holiday special was one of those sort of inspired moments of public discourse elocution. I didn't plan it. I didn't script it. It just flowed. I think in a I couldn't have asked for anything better. And I'm highly conscious of my hands now because they feel like they're puppets. Like they can come up here and talk about stuff. And then we'll argue about other stuff. Sorry. That's how my brain works. That's why I never get anything done. What was I saying? Oh, I humbly invite anyone that has not checked it out to check it out, because it was a really heartfelt message of gratitude, and it never hurts to practice a little gratitude throughout the year, even not on Thanksgiving. So whenever you might be checking out this episode, if you're new to the Zeppo universe, I humbly invite you to go check out. I wish I could drop the link. I don't have a chat window here. I need to drop a chat window back up in this control room. I need to reconfigure the control room, but that's a whole nother thought. I digress, friends. And I'm out of tea. Oh, no, it's not true. I'm not out of tea. I can ramble at you a little longer. I have a weakness. My Achilles heel is I can only chat and ramble for as long as I have tea. If I run out of tea, then the voice is like kaput. It's like, I don't want to talk anymore. I'm done. Let's move on. Let's do things in silence. Right. DJ Zed. This is strange and bizarre. I'm used to listening to the DJ Zed music, and now it's pumping through direct into the OBS right here inside of the interwebs, and it's coming out of your speakers, and I can't hear it. So it's weird. I'm used to when I'm playing the video games and you hear it in the background, it's literally another device sitting next to the iPad that I'm playing the video games on, volume turned all the way up and pointed at a funny angle to try and like get a cool acoustic sounding angularity to it. Would love to have a proper robust setup with multiple webcams and some nice microphones. I've got some nice microphones. They just don't, I'm not plugging them in because I think that one of the things is processing sound as a separate feed from, slows down the desktop, the iMac. But we got to go back and check. That might be a software thing because Twitch Studio, that was the only problem. Knock on wood, pray some meditative manifesting prayers for me that YouTube Studio suddenly works magically and is no longer resource intensive as it was before, and the stream quality is bingo, and I can actually hear the video game and I can do the whole thing proper because it was so close. It's like getting to the top 7 and then getting like wiped out in a battle royale game, and or getting to like 11 and then not even making it into the top 10. That's, that's so frustrating. That was a Brazilian house track entitled Deep Down in the Amazonian. If I'm not mistaken, that was on a remix live. So we want to be doing, we, DJ Zed and I, need to hunker down and spend a whole day just doing some music, revisiting the music production department, because I feel like the current playlist has worn itself thin, and time to scrape together some new iterations so that it's not quite so redundant. And of course, that's a whole nother thing, a whole nother level of things we could invest in, because I'd love to have an actual like turntable DJ setup over there to the side, and then someone to teach me how to do that, because I don't know how to do that, but I can learn. My hands are good at that kind of stuff. But yeah, so this aspiring video streamer is going to make the concerted effort to be back at you in your faces a little bit more often, talking about a little bit more things more diversely, and not just hiding behind the video game camera. But as always, I apologize for being rough around the edges. I encourage you to follow me on my socials. Don't forget to visit solo.to, Mr. Zebo. And shout out to Rava, my most recent follower. Thanks so much. Trying to get to 50. 5-0. We gotta get to 50 followers so we can qualify to be a professional Twitch TV streamer. Need all the support and help we can get. And now I'm done rambling enough. I'm going to close this video chat session out. It was mostly genuine. I really honestly intended it just to be a test, and I didn't mean to ramble on for as long as I did. I don't even know how long we've been talking for. I don't have a clock timer on this studio. I need to figure that out. So thank you for enduring it. If I go back and rewatch this and it's horrible, I might delete it all. But it was worth taking the time to sort of reintroduce myself a little bit and catch you with the backstory, which is basically my life is a mess, and I was intending to do this as a side hustle supported by a primary employment during the following year, and that's no longer going to be the case. So I'm not freaking out yet, but I am doubling and quadrupling down on the effort to garner a bigger audience for both the Twitch stream product and the podcast product and the Wattpad product and all the different content that I pump out on the internet, to see if that won't magically turn into a large enough fan base to sustain and expand the endeavors. As I've said on my podcast before on many occasions, I really want to be a job creator, right? That's the American dream, is to find a niche, get that audience, and then generate enough income so that you got to hire other people. So join me in that journey, dear friends, as year zero audience members. You're here from the very beginnings. Next year is year one, where we really try to see if it comes true or if I got to walk away from it and stop wasting the time that it takes, because it has been mostly just costing me a little bit of money. And now I got to try and make money. Got to make that money. What's that movie with that line? But I don't want to make the talk show all about that. Creatives, being a creative is a wild and a wacky thing. And I have been lucky in my life to be able to explore creativity in a professional setting as well as just wild, whimsical amateur settings. And so I hope that I bring some gravitas to the world building that I'm, pursuing, that I'm endeavoring to build here a little bit. And I know it's clunky and awkward, but hop around, join me in jumping around the various things. And whilst we are playing a video game, imagine, if you will, when you're watching a stream of any of the games we're playing on the iPad, imagine, if you will, that you are a character. You are the character playing the game, and you're experiencing it as a fully immersive 3D environment where you're not even playing the game, you're experiencing your avatar playing the game. That'll make sense once we get into Addicted to Dragons over on Wattpad, and we really start opening up and releasing some of those chapters about what's going on with that story. But they're all interconnected and weirdly interrelated, no matter what book you drop into over on Wattpad. And in its own way, so is the podcast, because it serves as a sort of historical artifact that is then a thing that exists in the literary book series world. And in that sense, so does this video stream. And most of the world of the fictional, it's most of the time setting. What's the right way to phrase that? For most of the duration of the content, the time frame is one that is in our future. Thus, this stuff is referred to as content from the past. Wild and trippy, isn't it? And I haven't written most of it, and I haven't podcasted most of it yet, and I haven't streamcasted most of it yet, because we're just really getting into serious gear now. It's sort of sink or swim, folks. Thanks for joining me. I'm okay. I'm not on the brink of total disaster. I don't want anyone to freak out. But I do need for reals now to double down and make this an entertaining experience and event and series that draws a large enough audience with a broad enough depth. That's an oxymoron. A broad enough depth of support. Then it makes sense. A large enough audience that brings a broad enough. God, I should stop talking, shouldn't I? Why do I think I'm going to ever make any money doing this? I have no idea. But here we are, friends. Tune in for more stuff, and hopefully we'll broaden that depth, and we'll get a little activity on this fundraiser. This is a small goal. If we can raise these funds by April 20th, then all of these shows can go on into next year, and I'll be able to acquire a bit of equipment to bolster it, and I'll be able to spend a little on advertising to draw in some folks that might otherwise not come across the stuff. So that's the big mastermind plan as we kick off version 2.9. 2.9. It's not quite 3.0, 2.9 of this show. 3.0 starts in January when we've proven that I have, the proof of concept of the more intense production schedule. To that end, I'm going to cap things off, and I'm going to thank you for tuning in so kindly. Whoa, that was abrupt. That's not the screen I wanted to go to. Let's go back over here. Boom. Hi again. I'm going to thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me ramble and talk about stuff in meta. This is an impromptu, really unscheduled episode. But it's totally mislabeled, I'm sure. I'll fix that in post. But it's proof for anyone tuning in, especially anyone who doubted from social media, that it's just me in my house and that all of this stuff is real, raw, radically unscripted, but also being crafted towards something larger than what it appears on the surface. Crazy? Too much to boast? Who knows? But I tell you what, I mean it sincerely, folks. Thank you so much for participating. I'm going to stop thanking you and stop repeating myself and go ahead and exit out of here and say thank you for watching and peace out. We'll be back with some gaming in just a bit. And then a whole new set of episodes of podcast content going up probably either late tonight or early tomorrow. Okay. I don't know why I'm finding it difficult to sign off, but here goes. The stream has ended. But here's a little bit of music to unwind to. This content is a production of C-Tag Studios, an imaginary, multidisciplinary production company that exists primarily in my imagination. Venture capital, serious inquiries only. Venture capital is welcome.